Hallo und willkommen. Ich bin Meister Lehnsherr, and Halloween is just around the corner. And what better way to get into the spooky spirit than by diving into some of the most twisted and dark German fairy tales ever told. The tales by the brothers Grimm, especially, are much darker than you might remember if you only know the Disney versions. Today we're exploring the creepy, the gruesome, and the downright disturbing versions of your most beloved fairy tales. So get comfortable, or should I say, uncomfortable. Let's dive into some stories that are sure to give you nightmares.
What creepy thing should I do? Get Germanized.
First up, let's talk about Hänsel and Gretel. The story of two siblings abandoned in the woods by their own parents because of a food shortage. Yes, their parents decide it's a good idea to abandon them so they'll have fewer mouths to feed. Pretty dark already, right? But it only gets worse. After days of wandering, Hänsel and Gretel stumble upon a house made entirely of candy and sweets. It sounds like a dream come true. But as we know, it's actually a trap. An evil witch lives there, luring children with promise of food only to fatten them up and eat them. The witch eventually imprisons Hänsel in a cage and forces Gretel to cook for him so he'll get nice and plump. Here's the part that they tend to leave out of most retellings. When Gretel manages to shove the witch into her own oven, it's described in chilling detail. The witch screams and burns alive. Not exactly the happily ever after you'd expect from a fairy tale. Disney might have lightened up the ending, but the original story is a reminder of the harsh realities many people faced in medieval Europe, where food shortages were very real and sometimes led to unimaginable decisions. Our next story is called The Juniper Tree. Der Wacholderbaum. This is one of the most disturbing fairy tales of all time. And if you don't know this one, buckle up. It's a brutal tale of jealousy, murder, and cannibalism. Yes, you heard that right. In this story, a young boy is killed by his wicked stepmother, who's consumed by envy for her husband's love for his son. Not only does she murder him, but she also chops him up and makes him into a stew. She then serves this stew to her husband, who unknowingly eats his own son. I told you it was gruesome. But the story doesn't end there. From the boy's grave, a juniper tree grows, and out of that tree, a bird emerges. This bird sings a song that ultimately reveals the stepmother's crime. In the end, the bird drops a millstone on the stepmother, killing her instantly. The boy is then magically resurrected and returns to his father alive and well. Now, if that story doesn't make your skin crawl, I don't know what will. Der Wacholderbaum is a classic example of the grim justice seen in many German fairy tales, where evil deeds are repaid in full, and then some. Our last story for today's video is called The Robber Bridegroom. Der Räuber Bräutigam. This is a tale of betrayal, murder, and a gruesome twist of fate. The story follows a young woman betrothed to a man she barely knows. One day she decides to visit him at his home in the woods, but when she arrives she finds out he's actually the leader of a gang of robbers. She hides and watches in horror as the robbers drag another girl into the room, murder her, and then chop her into pieces. To make it worse, they prepare to eat her, even using her fingers as garnish on their feast. The bride-to-be manages to escape, taking one of the girl's fingers as proof. Later, during the wedding feast, she confronts the groom in front of all the guests, revealing what she witnessed. The groom and his gang are caught and brought to justice. So what is the moral of this story? Maybe it's to know your partner a little better before committing. But really, these dark tales reflect a time when strangers were viewed with suspicion and trust was not given lightly. So why are German fairy tales so dark? Many German fairy tales were made to be cautionary tales and to teach lessons, especially to children. Life in medieval Germany was harsh, filled with real threats like famine, disease, and violence. These tales were a way to warn children about the dangers of trusting strangers wandering too far from home, or even just being greedy. The brothers Grimm were not interested in sugarcoating things. They captured the brutal reality of life in their time. Today we sanitize these versions for our children, but the original versions reflect a darker and more complex view of the world. So there you have it, 3 of the most gruesome and dark fairy tales of German history. Will they keep you up at night? Let me know in the comments below. What is your favorite fairy tale of German origin? Let me know and subscribe and activate the church bell or the graveyard bell. Well, activate it to never miss another upload of Get Germanized. And for video companion PDFs with extra value and early access to my videos, become a patron or a channel member on patreon.com/getgermanized or here on YouTube. And apart from that, thank you very much for watching. Don't forget to get Germanized. Goodbye and auf Wiedersehen.
Get Germanized, it's a spooky vibe. Learning Deutsch, come alive tonight. From castles to haunted tales, we dive into Germany's ghostly side. We thrive. We talk about the phantoms, the chills and the screams. Every lesson's a journey through eerie dreams. With spells and myths, we're in this together. Join the Germ family, now and forever. So whether you're a ghoul or a friend from afar, let's explore Germany under a haunted star. With Dominic at the helm, we'll go bizarre. Get Germanized, Halloween's not too far. Get Germanized, it's a spooky vibe. Germanized, it's a spooky